In this video we have a look at profit and loss. So if you buy something for €50 and you sell it for €70, you make a profit. If you buy something for €50 and you sell it for €30, you make a loss. Let's take a look at how we'd write this down. So we might have the cost price. So that's the thing that we buy it for originally. So if the cost price is €100 and then we sell it, the selling price, and maybe the selling price is €120, well then we obviously sold it for more than we paid for it, so we make a profit, and we can see quite clearly that the profit is €20. So this means that the profit is €20. So we have some important keywords there already: cost price, selling price, profit. So don't forget to write down your keywords. Now, sometimes making a profit of €10 can be a really big deal, but sometimes making a profit of €10 doesn't really matter. For instance, if you're selling a phone, it might be a good thing to make a profit of €10, but if you were selling a house, making a profit of €10 wouldn't really matter. It all really depends on what the thing cost you in the first place. So sometimes it's useful to look at the profit or the loss as a percentage of what it cost you. So it can be useful to express the profit or loss as a percentage of the cost price. And now we have some more keywords here: percentage profit, percentage loss. And we'll also have a look at an example. Now in this example, the cost price is €150 and the selling price is €120. So do we make a profit or a loss? It cost us €150, we're selling it for €120. So yes, we make a loss, and we just write that down. This implies, the equal sign with the little arrow, this implies, or this tells us that we make a loss, and the loss is €30. Now we can see the answer quite clearly here. From 120 up to 150 is €30. But just to remind ourselves, in case we have harder numbers to work with, do the calculation at the side. 150 minus 120 is 30. So make sure you write that into your copy beside the example. Okay, let's continue. Now we want to know about this loss, this €30. Was it a big loss? Like, what percent was it relative to the cost price? Always back to the cost price at the moment. So we want to find the percentage loss, and we write this down. The percentage loss, the percentage loss. In other words, we will look at the loss over the cost price, and then to make it into a percentage, we multiply it by 100/1. Now that's a very important formula. We write it down every time we use it. So have a look at it. Percentage profit or loss would be the profit or the loss over the cost price multiplied by 100/1. And once we have that, then we can just fill it back in. So in this case, the percentage loss is the loss, which was €30, over the cost price, which was €150, and multiply by 100/1. And of course, when we work that out, we get 20. So that means that our percentage loss is 20%. Now, these questions are quite important to be able to do. We'll take a look at another one. And we'll take a look at another example here. Now, John buys a car for €3,000 and he sells it for €3,250. Find his percentage profit or loss. Now, it's very important when you're doing these to lay out all the steps. So we see he bought it for 3,000. That's his cost price. So we'll write that down. His cost price is 3,000. He sells it for 3,250, so his selling price is 3,250, And now we know we have to do a subtract sum. So we have the 3,250, take away the 3,000. Don't forget to show all your work. And that gives us €250. Now, because his selling price was higher than his cost price, that means he's made a profit. So this means that his profit is the difference between these two numbers. So his profit is €250. That's the first part. So even though the question asks us to find the percentage profit, it's very important that we work out the actual profit first, and then we can move on. Don't forget, we have to write out the formula. The percentage profit is the profit, and you can just use the single letter, over the cost price by 100 over 1. So you can just fill those numbers. The profit is 250 over the cost price, and always check back, over 3,000 multiplied by 100 over 1. Now when we work that out, we get 8.3 recurring. It's 8.333, and that's 8 1/3. So our percentage profit is 8 1/3%. Now when you're doing the questions, I want you to show each part of it very clearly. Here's a question now I want you to try yourself. So again, you're going to have to pause the video and take this down. Mary bought a television for €800. She sold it for €600. Find her percentage profit or loss. Now look back at the example. Don't forget, you have to show your calculation and decide whether she makes a profit or a loss. So don't forget to write out the cost price, the selling price, and then whether she makes a profit or a loss. Don't forget then to use the formula for finding the percentage profit or loss. Write it down and use it. So look back to the example and try this question. Okay. Here we have a much more difficult question, but I'm sure some people will be well able to do it. By selling a phone for €150, I make a profit of 20%. So I know when I'm selling this phone for €150 that I've made the profit of 20%. What was the cost of the phone? Now have a little think about it. Maybe try an answer, see does it work. Maybe draw a picture. I want you to make some attempt at this, and I'll give you a little tip here. So a little hint. The cost price is always 100%. So that might help you along the way. Now I want you to copy this, pause the video, copy this question into your notes copy. Everything's in your notes copy. And don't forget to write down the little hint as well, because that will become very important, and give this question a go also.